So hello everyone, today we're here with Miss Emily and she's one of my favorite human beings ever. This little girl is almost 18 and it's crazy. Like, I remember when I turned 18. Actually, I don't know that I do. But yeah, she's turning 18 soon and so she is ready for a change. She's had black hair forever, right?
Yeah.
You've had colored hair before? No.
One time, like maybe 9 years ago.
We never really see people with virgin hair anymore. So this is actually really exciting. We were thinking of all the different types of hair we could create for her, and I wanted to do something really different. I know everyone's still doing a lot of balayages and ombres, but I'm like, let's do something that is like red carpet glam. Think of like Eva Longoria, you know, that kind of like beautiful brightness, a little bit of soft highlights, pop of color to brighten the face, right? Really romantic, sexy, beautiful feel is what we're doing. So I will go over the foiling technique a little bit because we just want to brighten it up a little bit. First, I'm going to go and cut her hair, and then we will be back with the sectioning pattern. Okay, here we are with this. I decided to record this side so it's easier for you to see. So what I'm going to do with Miss Emily is I'm going to be using diagonal sections like this so that when it falls, it comes through really, really diffused. We are going to keep her predominantly dark, right? Remember, we're thinking red carpet glam, so we want soft and beautiful. I'm going to leave a veil of dark, so if she ever puts her hair up, she's not going to have to really deal with any growth that she might have. And I'm taking pretty decent sized sections. They're probably about, I don't know, like 2/3 of a centimeter thick. And then so for the first section, what I'm going to do, give it a little back comb. This one I'm going to take up nice and high. So a really great little technique to help long hair stay. So if you look at it, I'm going to be pulling it. It kind of slides. If you just throw a little bit of lightener onto the foil like this, you can strategically place the hair where you want it. Always go a little bit below the fade, obviously, or where you're going to feather. And then it just sticks, and it makes the hair that much easier to work with. Now I can go through, paint it on the top. And this also just ensures that the saturation is on both sides of the hair. Flip it over. I usually do this with people when they have this coarse of hair, because it's the worst when you think you got it all and then you take out the lightener and then there's spots of dark still throughout there. So this just helps to make sure that that doesn't happen. And then I'm going to feather it upwards like this. Now directly on top of each slice, I'm going to put a baby fine weave. Again, fine is relative to the amount of hair that the person has. She has coarse hair and she has really thick hair. So her fine hair is probably going to be a medium weave on some girls with fine hair. So I'm going to take the next little section here. So Miss Emily, you excited to turn 18?
Yeah, I've been counting down to this day for a while now, and it's finally happening.
She has 18 days left. 19 days, you said.
19 days. Yeah.
There. Now I'm going to skip a section that's probably of equal thickness. Because I don't want her hair to be overall all super light. There, so this is what I'm going to leave dark. Again, I'm going to back comb it. This section I'm going to take up probably about there, like halfway up. And again, place the hair on there just below where you want to feather it. And then another weave again right over top. And with her, what I'm going to do is, because of the end color we're going to tone it to, we're going to probably tone to like a level 7. So I do want to make sure that her base isn't super dark. So for this particular case, I am going to bring up the lightener higher. So I just want to remind you that with every video we're doing, the techniques are just an example. You can change the placement however you want and do it with whatever color you want. Hair is an art, so you just gotta imagine or visualize how it's gonna fall, right? So with her, because I want to have a little bit of brightness up here, if I don't have those foils, those baby lights coming up all the way to the top, she's gonna have really, really, really dark roots all over, which isn't bad if that's the kind of look that I'm going for. But with her, I do want to brighten up a little bit. Okay, then I'm gonna skip another section. Again, like so. And then this section, I'm gonna do a slice again. This time I'm gonna bring it up about 2/3 of the way. If you ever need to pick up the hair and move it down, you just like this. There we go. And then you're going to continue that till you get to the very top, and I'll be right back to show you what we're going to do up there. Okay, here we are now on the top, I would say quarter of her head. And I did a baby fine weave here. I'm going to leave a veil. Now I'm going to take her next section, and up here I'm just going to do weaves, because I do want to add a little bit more of an appearance of like a solid color almost up top. Not solid, but like a color coming throughout. So here I'm going to do a weave. So when you're painting the hair, you don't always need to put lightener underneath. You can just grab it like this, hold it tight. Don't go all the way up to the top, because then just in case it slides, you don't want it bleeding on the rest of the head. Paint it down. And then flip the hair up like this so it's straight. I see a lot of people do this and whirl the hair into like a spaghetti thing, a spaghetti-o, and it just makes me cringe inside, because when you go and comb that out later, you're going to cause so much breakage and damage to the hair. It's unreal. Then when you get up to the top, just kind of feather it up like that. Now I'm going to skip a section. So the reason why I'm doing this up top is I want to bring the color right up almost to the root, so that it gives an illusion of not a solid color, but from afar it's going to look like it's kind of growing out of her head that way. I don't want her to have a darker root up top. Kind of like mine, where the color just looks like it's coming from whatever. And again, skip a section, add a foil, and then I left the little piece up top, just right here, because again, I want that veil of color all the way through on the top and the bottom of each section. And then here's that veil of dark. Okay, now for the side section. Okay, so now what we're going to do around the front of the face is, again, I'm going to leave that little veil of dark so she doesn't have to worry about getting her hair done all the time. But this one, I do want it to be a pretty small veil, because I do want her to see that nice brightness in through and around the face. So again, I'm going to be using diagonal back partings. And the first section, and with these right around her face, I'm going to be working with sections that are a little bit smaller than the back, because I do want the flash of color to be to appear equal, and always around the face and the front halves of our hair, our heads, the density isn't as much. So you can see how much thinner, her hair is not thin at all, but like thinner it is up here than it is back here, right? So back here for me, for it to look, to be able to see it a little bit more, I do have to take a little bit of bigger sections. Here I'm gonna make my sections a little bit smaller. I'm gonna back comb it. And again, I wanna bring this, the chunks of color, or flashes of color, whatever you wanna call them, higher up around her face. And then so for this slice, I want it to come up higher around the face, but not so much back here. So I'm gonna angle on the lightener in the same section of the direction.
Bless you.
Thank
You're
you.
like a mouse.
So that section was a weave, and then I'm going to leave a section, and then on this one I'm going to do what I did up top on the other side, which is just weaves all the way up to the top. I'm going to be a weave, skip a section, weave, skip a section, weave, veil. And then that's what I'm going to do exactly on the other side. So we'll be right back. Here's her foils all processed. It's kind of hard to see because of all the blue, but if you look at it closely, you can see that it's lightened just past the level 7, which is perfect. We all know that the under pigment of a level 7 is orange. I want to bump her slightly higher than that. Oh yeah. So here, let me pump her up so you can see it. It looks so good. One thing I didn't mention earlier is that, here, let's even pump her up a little bit more because I want you to see how even it is root to end. This is as high as it goes. So on the first quadrant, I used a level 7. Second quadrant, I use a half a level 7, half a level 20 ball, and then I use 20 and 20 on the front so that it would all process at the same amount of time. The reason why I started with a level 7 is I knew I wanted her to be around a level 8 in lightness, because you don't want to overlift. If you overlift, then what I'm going to have to do before I tone her hair, I have to fill her and bring her back down. So I knew that by doing this, you can see how even her color is, or how evenly it has lightened root to end. So what I have mixed for her toner is half level 7, or half, they're all both level 7, half 7.1 and 7.2, and I chose those colors because I want to neutralize all this warmth here, giving her just a very neutral 7 with just a slight bit of ash. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to brighten up her face, and especially when you see her in the sun, it's just going to like give everything a big pop. So you don't need to watch me put her toner on. I'm going to put on her toner, and then we'll be right back once we have her all rinsed and processed. Processed and then rinsed, you know what I mean. Okay, so here we have Emily all power dried out. You've heard me say before in videos that hair is like a sponge. You don't want it sopping wet before you put product in, because when it's too saturated with that, it can't absorb anything else. Today I'm going to be putting the blowout kit in Emily's hair, and I'm really going to be focusing on or demonstrating the volume for you, because you're going to see how amazing of a volumizer it is. In my opinion, it's the best volumizer in the market because it is strong enough to give body to someone with this much hair and how heavy it is, and it's going to feel like it completely disappears in the hair. So I already put in 2 big pumps. I'm going to even put in a third to show you how well it disappears. And then obviously a heat protector everywhere. I'm going to put in some replenishing oil. The blowout kit is actually amazing for anybody that wants big hair. It even has Fix, our workable hairspray, which is great if you don't want a ton of body. You just want to have a little bit of grit so that it's not that fluffy, limp hair that you have right when you first get out of the shower. So let's put in some oil. So what I mean by power drying it into the hair is you're just going to take the blow dryer and blast the air through the roots. Okay, here we have our hair all styled. Now we're going to finish her off by using a little bit of smooth. This is the best for piecing out curls. It makes it look super defined. Just got to break it down in your hands and then just take each piece of curl individually and just kind of do this. And you can see how much definition it adds to each piece. You just got to re-emulsify it through your hands because you're just using your fingertips to pull it through like that. Huge. So here we go. Look at it, all done. How's it look? How's it feel?
It looks so much better than it did. It feels so much better. It feels really soft still with the products in, and I feel like a new person. Thank you so much for doing that.
You're welcome. And it's just like a subtle color change. That's all she wanted. She wanted just a little bit of brightening around the face. So this is a really great technique to do, to just have it really subtle. And what I meant by a solid color, if you just look from afar, overall it just looks a little bit lighter, just a little sun-kissed. And it grows out a lot nicer than a solid color, because obviously if we were going to do her whole head lighter, she'd have roots every 4 to 6 weeks, right? And this she can just kind of grow out. She will have to get it toned because it's in the lighter side. But just overall, here, let's just do a whole 360 spin. Lean all the way back, please. Miss Vanna. There. So you can just see it's just, oh, and there's the sun. I'll do a little flash of a close-up. But it is beautiful here. So the sun's on her face. But that's it for today's video. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them down below. We will get back to you. We do release new videos every Friday, so make sure to subscribe to our channel and remember to tune in. Bye!